Good afternoon. My name is Jay Mann, Professor Emeritus of Music at Heidelberg College. And I would like to this afternoon, March 2nd, 2021, sit and review with you some of my memories of my time at Heidelberg College. A few months ago, Dr. James Augsburger, class of 1970, asked me to prepare this video for alumni and friends to view on the Heidelberg websites. I have thoroughly enjoyed the journey of nearly 30 years of memories. As professor of voice and chorus, I taught studio voice lessons, college chorus, concert choir, and chamber singers. I also taught courses in choral conducting, music appreciation, voice and diction for singers. I also conducted choral concerts, many choral concerts, Messiah performances, and many madrigal feast performances. Also during that time, I presented several faculty recitals, many in duet with my wife, late Margaret Mann, who died in 2016. Messiah performances were often done by Margaret as soloist. I was at Heidelberg College from 1969 to 1997. During that time, I decided to highlight 3 different areas of my teaching to share some memories. First of all, the madrigal feasts. The madrigal feasts were formal dinners attended by campus personnel, community members, and guests. I did it in connection with the theater department. My colleague, Mr. James Austin, was wonderful in setting us up with medieval costumes and oftentimes a play to go along with the festivities. The feasts were held in the Great Hall in the campus center, and we did it with quite a flair, a processional with percussion instruments, the singers, the lord and lady of the manor, wenches, waitresses, jokers, and of course the singers singing carols. We sang carols throughout the dinner at particular times during the evening. Another part of my teaching which I thought I would highlight would be the productions of Handel's Messiah, which we did each year at the college. Sometimes I sang bass solos. Margaret, as you remember, sang the soprano and alto solos many times. And I conducted the chorus, made up of community members, campus members, the college chorus, the concert choir, and of course, the chamber singers. We did it with full orchestra, and it was quite an affair. We brought in alumni soloists, oftentimes many of those that are watching this video right now. Another area that I would like to highlight are the annual choir tours. The concert choir made tours alternating between northeastern United States, southeastern and Florida, and western United States, going as far west sometimes as Wisconsin. We had wonderful tours. A couple of tours that I'd like to remember is the West Coast tour, which was really an outstanding tour. Another one was the Northeast United States tour, which we did, which included Boston, all New York State, and Providence, Rhode Island. We sang an evening in Providence, Rhode Island, wonderful evening, And after the concert, members of the congregation came to me and said, Dr. Mann, we're expecting a very bad weather system to come through here, and we think that you should cancel the rest of your tour, including Boston, and head home and see if you can make it before the storm. So they convinced me, and that's what we did. We were on the New York Thruway for about an hour or so, and it began to snow. And it snowed, and it snowed, and it snowed on the Thruway, and finally we were going through some 2 feet of snow, 2 Greyhound buses. The Thruway by that time had been closed, so we took a rest stop. At the rest stop, one of my students, Rachel Lawrence, called her mother in Ithaca, New York, where we had performed the previous Wednesday, and her mother, Reverend Patty Lawrence, invited us to stay at Ithaca if we could make it that far. Talked to the drivers, and the drivers said we could make it. So they did. How they did it, I don't know, with God's help. We made it to Ithaca, New York through more than 2 feet of snow, and and stayed in that old downtown city church where they had a gymnasium, a stage, a little auditorium, locker rooms for both men and women, showers. It was a perfect place for us to be stranded, which we were stranded for 2 days. Travel on the turnpike was prohibited. So the ladies of the congregation came in and fed 85 choir members for 2 days. Those memories are very dear to my heart. After I retired from Heidelberg College, Margaret and I decided to move to our cottage on Lake Erie in Lakeside, Ohio, called Vine and Roses. We retired there and lived there for 15 years, during which time we directed the music at Firelands Presbyterian Church in Fort Clinton. In 2012, we decided to retire for the second time and decided to move. We had no relatives there in Ohio, close relatives, and decided we needed to move where we did. So we did quite a bit of shopping and decided on Colorado Springs. In Colorado Springs, I had both a niece and a nephew living with their families. So we moved to Liberty Heights, a senior community, and we enjoyed living there those years. And I'd like to invite you to contact me if you would, if you'd like. And this is my address, 12105 Ambassador Drive, apartment 513, Colorado Springs, 90921. My phone number, 419-341-5659. I would love to hear from you. I hope you are doing well and your families as well, and that you too are enjoying wonderful memories of Heidelberg College. Best wishes and Godspeed to each of you. Farewell.